Good morning, this is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from the YouTube channel as I continue on my part series on, the week that was college football history and review, the 1964 college football season. Um, this is week 8, now I'm into the month of November now. So we're almost close to the end of the season. So as far as recapping the games that were played during the 1964 season, so we're going to get into week 8, the games that were played on November 7th, 1964. We're going to start with top rank Notre Dame, number 1 team in the country. Notre Dame, number 1 team in the country. They beat Pittsburgh in a close one, 17-15. Here we go. The Panthers were unimpressed by nation's top rushing defense of number 1 Notre Dame and were able to grind out 199 yards, but Fighting Irish had opened strongly on offense, going for 80 yards in 14 plays after opening kickoff to fullback Joe Farrell's touchdown. Our next possession, Notre Dame quarterback John Hewitt rifle pass to halfback Nick Eddy, who breaks 91 yards to score, but it just has easily could have been 2-point safety for Pitt, as Hewitt had to dance away from bevy of pass rushers. So Fighting Irish had scored 2 opening salvos and looked like another romp for undefeated Clan, especially after they soon recovered fumble and pressed on to Pitt 2-yard line. But there, Irish halfback Bill Walski fumbled it away to Panthers defensive back Dale Stewart. So after kicker Joe Azzaro made 30-yard field goal late in the second quarter for 17-8 halftime edge, Notre Dame was blanked in the second half. Pitt rolled strong back of fullback Barry McKnight, who had 93 yards rushing to his second touchdown on first play of the fourth quarter. When Panthers' hopes soared on late threat, Irish swarm of defenders stopped McKnight on 4th and 1. Next, Wake Forest beat Duke by a score of 20-7. Not since 1951 had Wake Forest beaten Duke. Big upset became fullback Brian Piccolo's finest moment as he scored all 3 touchdowns, including go-ahead touchdown on 11-yard pass from quarterback John Malkovich in the third quarter. So Piccolo set ACC record with 35 rushing attempts while gaining 115 yards. Piccolo caught 3 passes for 46 yards and a touchdown. So halfback John Gutekunst got lone Blue Devils touchdown on 16-yard run in first quarter. Wake Forest had to suffer through its own 3 passing interceptions and fumble in the 7-7 first half, but its 9 dominated in second half. Deacons guard Don McMurray recovered Gutekunst's fumble at Blues 23-yard line to launch a winning pass in the third quarter. Duke visited Wake territory only once in the second half, making it to 41-yard line. Next, Georgia upset number 9 Florida by a score of 14-7. Now in the first half, Georgia offense managed but single first down while Florida completed a 3-yard touchdown drive with fullback Larry Dupree's 7-yard run. Another Gators drive died before halftime with kicker Jim Hall's missed 25-yard field goal. Early in the third quarter, Bulldogs defensive tackle Ray Rissmiller dislocated his elbow but still dislodged ball from Gators halfback Alan Trammell. Nothing came out of it. The Bulldogs defense became enraged, creating field position that paid off in halfback Fred Barber's touchdown early in the fourth quarter inside last 10 minutes of the play. And Georgia reached the fourth down at Florida 5-yard line. So kicker Bobby Etter was sent in for a field goal attempt, but snap was high. But Etter made frantic dash behind blocks by holder Barry Wilson and Frank Richter for winning touchdown. Number 3, Alabama beat number 8, Louisiana State by a score of 17-9. In this top 10 matchup, SEC crown went to Alabama on the strength of top defensive play of the second half, as versatile end kicker Doug Moreau gave LSU a 9-7 lead at halftime with touchdown catch and 37-yard field goal. Quarterback Steve Sloan's pass to halfback Ray Ogden, key drive to kicker David Ray's field goal, and 10-9 lead Crimson Tide earned early in this fourth quarter. Bama defensive back Hudson Harris 33-yard interception touchdown return clinched it at 17-9. not before Tigers edged twice to tied 11-yard line, only to have Bama defensive tackle Frank McClendon bat down 4 passes. Afterward, LSU coach Charlie McClendon disavowed any kinship to Alabama defensive hero of the same name. Next, Tennessee upset number 7 Georgia Tech 22-14 in 8-minute span of fourth quarter. Georgia Tech's dream of undefeated season went up in smoke despite being a game. Engineers enjoyed 14-3 lead in the fourth quarter, with their prime moment coming from halfback defensive back Jerry Bustle's 84-yard interception for a touchdown return in the third quarter. So Tennessee strategically inserted sub-quarterback Dave Lee, who hit tight end Al Tanara with a 23-yard touchdown. So fullback Jack Patterson soon scored, and Volunteers had their first lead of day at the 15-14 point of the game, 15-14. So Tennessee's spree was fulfilled by linebacker Doug Archibald 69-yard touchdown return for a touchdown on an interception. Kentucky defeated Vanderbilt 22-21. Michigan beat Illinois 21-6. Michigan State upset number 10 Purdue 21-7. Dream of first ever Purdue Rose Bowl trip evaporated on block punt, pass interference penalty, line domination on both sides of the ball was apparent from start as Michigan State had back Dick Gordon, who had 145 yards on 24 carries, 4 catches on 31 yards receiving, raced 48 yards on Spartans' first snap. That drive reached 15-yard line, but was killed by a 15-yard penalty, a 15-yard snap sack by Purdue defensive end Harold Wells after fullback Randy Meniere's 80-yard rushing and 22 carries and a touchdown gave Boilermakers 7-0 first quarter edge. Spartans defensive lineman Charles Thornhill blocked Purdue punter Russ Fowler's punt. Defensive tackle Harold Lucas caught high rebound and ran 3 yards to touchdown midway in the second quarter. So Michigan State threatened often in second half without result until halfback Clint Jones scored from 3-yard line. So touchdown was set up by the Epstein 32-yards pass interference penalty on 3rd and long. Called on Boilermakers defensive back Ken Urby in third quarter. Jones wrapped it up with 15-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Steve Juday in the fourth quarter. Next, you have Wisconsin versus Northwestern. This matchup, Northwestern beat Wisconsin by a score of 17-13. This was an upset right here. Penn State upset number 2 Ohio State 27-0. So thorough was blanking of mighty number 2 Ohio State, Buckeyes' first whitewash defeat in 46 games. The Buckeyes made no first downs and suffered through a minus 14 yards total offense in first half. Amazingly, Ohio State failed to cross midfield until final minute of the game. That was the soundest trouncing we ever had, admitted Buckeyes coach Woody Hayes. Salvaging its flagging season, Penn State outgained Ohio State 349 to 63 yards. 349 yards to 63 yards. Now, Nittany Lions were sparked by quarterback Gary Whitman and fullback Tom Urbanek, and scored on efficient drives of 65, 35, 42, and 64 yards. Halfback Don Kunitz tallied twice for the Lions. Penn State defense was so overwhelming that Buckeyes fans could cheer halfback Bo Raines' 86-yard run in his biggest gain of first half, as Buckeyes couldn't advance past their 35-yard line in minimal 16 snaps in first half. But it simply wasn't Ohio State's day, because Nate Lyons' only error didn't hurt them. Indeed, miscue turned into Penn State touchdown as halfback Dirk Nye beat Ohio State's players to Urbanek's fumble that went into the end zone on first quarter blast from Buckeyes' 1-yard line. Nebraska, number 5 team in the country, beat Kansas 14-7. Opportunity slipped away against undefeated Nebraska as Jayhawks suffered 2 exasperating misplays in fourth quarter. Errant fourth down pitch out stopped them at Cornhuskers' 1 yard line, and ace halfback wide receiver Gale Sayers, who had 4 catches for 49 yards receiving, who was curtailed only with 27 yards rushing on 11 carries, lost handle while streaking in clear field at Nebraska's 15-yard line. All scoring was wedged into late first quarter and early second quarter after Kansas punter Wally Hingstraw's second punt to Huskers' Coughlin corner in first quarter left Nebraska at its 7-yard line. Quarterback Bob Churchich surprised defense by launching a 92-yard touchdown pass to tall end Freeman White, who had 114 yards receiving on 3 catches and a touchdown. The Jayhawks quickly retaliate as lefty quarterback Bob Scahan rolled right and pitched past that halfback Mike Johnson took 53 yards to set up 3-yard touchdown run by fullback Ron Langer. Cornhuskers explored Kansas left side with sweeps, and next possession that went 75 yards to touchdown run up middle by halfback Bobby Home. Kansas Koyak kids seemed like it to at least tie it in late going. They went 57 yards as Sayers caught passes of 14 and 11 yards, but Scahan's wild pitch out on 4th down forced Johnson to circle back for ball, and he was prevented from easy touchdown run. Later, Sayers grabbed pass between 2 defenders, but his high knee action as he swirled away knocked ball from his own grabs at Huskers' 15-yard line. Right, next, number 4, Arkansas. Number 4, Arkansas Razorbacks shut out Rice by a score of 21-0 as Razorbacks defense kept Rice on its side of 50-yard line on all but one of 13 Owl possessions. The ringleaders of assault on Owls were defensive tackles for Arkansas Lloyd Phillips, Jim Williams, nose guard Jimmy Johnson, and linebackers Ronnie Cavness and Ronnie Mack Smith. Hogs allowed only 102 yards. Halfback punter Chuck LaTourette was Owls' only useful weapon, gaining 64 yards rushing on 14 carries. Arkansas earned its first touchdown early in the second quarter when tailback Bobby Burnett leaped over from 1-yard line at end of 65-yard drive. Big play on March was wingback Jim Lindsey's 22-yard option pitch, run behind crashing block of tight end Jerry Lamb. Sophomore defensive back Harry Jones dashed 35 yards up center field on fourth quarter interception touchdown return. And Burnett reprised his touchdown dive later on. Tailback Jack Russell's rushed 26 times for 121 yards for Cotton Bowl bound number 4 Arkansas. So that concludes a look at week 8, the week that was. The games that were played on November 7th, 1964. Week number 8. All right, that's concludes look at again week number 8. The games that were played during November 7th, 1964. That was week 8. Those are the games that I talked about. So let's get into the AP poll. That's November 9th. We had number 1 Notre Dame, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Arkansas, number 4 Nebraska, number 5 Texas, number 6 Michigan, number 7 Ohio State, number 8 Oregon State, number 9 Louisiana State, and number 10 Georgia Tech. So that includes a look at the games that were played during week 8 of November 7th, 1964. The week that was week 8, week number 8. The games that played on November 7th, 1964. This includes the week that was college football history and review, the 1964 college football season. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll do this video of this magnitude tomorrow. As we continue on this season, close to the end of concluding the season, got November and December to go, and then conclude everything else that goes with it. So until then, talk to you tomorrow.